Hello everybody, I'm back again working on my Tudor house. Today what I'm going to be focusing on, I'm doing a writing room and library. So I'm going to be focusing on that. So we're going to do a few bits. I'm going to show you how I made a few bits. And then after that we're going to go to the house and we're going to put the stuff in the room. So bear with me a second and we'll get on with making some stuff. Right, first of all, we're going to start making a little pen inkwell there with a quill in it. So what I've got is I've got two beads, one little round one and one funny shaped one. But you can choose any shape you like as long as they're, two little beads. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the round one on top of this one. So I'll pop a bit of glue on there. That's it. And then we'll stick the round one on top, making sure the holes at the top there, so that you can get your quill in to the top, just like that, and let them dry. And then what I done is I found a feather in the garden, so I can use that as my quill pen. So what I've got to do is just trim off some of the excess there, so that I can have a quill pen at the end. So if I just cut that off, because the feathers go all the way down the quill there. So if I just cut all that off, see if I can do it with this. Might be easier. No, I'm going to use this. That's it. Trim all these feathers back. And then just cut the stem to the desired length that you want, like so. And then you've got your feather with your quill pen on the end there. And then I just dab a bit of glue on the end of it and stick it in the hole. There we are. That looks quite good there. A little pen pot with your quill in it. There we are. So now I've got two of those. Next thing, I'll put them to one side for a minute, and then the next thing I'll just show you that I made. Oh, got feathers going everywhere now. Look. Okay, I made some furniture. All I did was use a bit of balsa wood, cut it up, and made these bits of furniture. I made a table there, and I made a stand to go on the table to hold the books or the scrolls and things like that. So that's that. And I painted it with acrylic paint, brown burnt sienna acrylic paint. I don't think that's come out too bad as a writing desk. And I made a little stool to go with it there. Just out a little bits of balsa wood and glued them together. Quite crude really, but quite effective, I think. So that's the table. Then I made a little bookshelf there. That's my bookshelf. And I should be putting some books and scrolls on that as we go along. I made a little side table there, just out of 3 pieces of wood, and glued them together there. And this is the chair. If you remember in a previous video, I made this chair out of cardboard. So that's gonna go in the room next to the little table. And the other thing is that I made a fireplace to go in the room as well. And I've put a light in there, so we'll be threading that through the back, and we can light up the fire in the room, which I thought would be quite nice. I've got some bits and pieces that I'm going to put in the room. So I made some scrolls here, and these scrolls, all I did was get a piece of paper and rolled it up and tied it with a bit of cotton. So that's quite effective as making scrolls. You can tie it with a bit of cotton or any other colour. I've done 2 different colours there. So that's that. And then I've got some books here which are just pieces of wood, and we printed off the covers and just stuck the covers round. So we've got some books there to go on the bookshelf. So that's that for now. I've got some other little bits and pieces, but I'll explain that as I go along. And we'll start putting the stuff in the Tudor house, and hopefully you'll join me for that. So I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, we're back at the Tudor house. What we're going to be doing is this room over here, which as I said before, we're going to be making into a writing and reading room. So what I've done in here is I made the floor, on a bit of card, I cut up some egg boxes into squares, and I stuck that down and painted that grey. So that's my stone floor. And then on the walls, all I did was get a roller, cover it in paint after painting the walls light grey, and then I just rolled it down to make it look like rough brick. I will be putting some hangings on the wall at some stage, but not today. We'll be doing that a bit later. What we're going to do is I'm going to put the furniture in what I've made, so we'll make a start doing that. Right, first of all, we'll start with the fireplace. So I'm going to put that in the middle of the back wall there. I've already drilled a hole at the back in the middle so I can poke my wires through, and that'll be ready to connect up to light the fireplace up. So, oh, that's them through there, and that'll sit right in the middle just there. So that's the fireplace in there, that's it. Next thing I think we'll put in, I'm going to pop in the chair. I did make 2 of these when I done them on video, but there's the 2. So I've got one for each room. I'll put that one back over there. That can sit there in the corner by the fire. And then the little table that I made, that one there, that's going to go just in front of the chair there. But before I do, I'm going to stick on there a little cup. I'll pop a bit of glue on the bottom of that cup and then stick it on the table there. That's it. You can stick that in front just there. So that's that. Then the next thing I'm going to go on to is the writing desk. So I've got the table there and my little stand there. So what I'm going to do is I might pop some glue in my little tray, and then we'll come back and put some stuff on that. Right, so I've got my glue on my tray here now, and what I'm going to do is the actual writing desk, I'm going to pop a bit of glue along the bottom, just there, and that side there, so that I can stick it down on top of the table on here. Let's make sure it's straight. So that's going to sit just like that. Then we can put our little ink pots with our quills in. We can stick them on the table. So I'm going to put one on this table here. Just here. Like that. And then the other one I'm going to put on the bookshelf as a spare. So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on there. And that one can go on the bookshelf just there. Oh, there we are. Just like that. So that's that. The next thing is my scroll that I made. I 3D printed these, but then I did stain them with a bit of dark and orange paint just to make them look older, and I've done a little bit of writing on the front there. So that's going to go on the workbench. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of it like that. And we, oops, dropped it. That's no good, is it? And then I'm going to stick that on there like so. So that's the scroll that they're actually working on. Then I'm going to get a couple of rolled up scrolls, pop a bit of glue on them like that, and then just pop them on the desk. Where did I put the glue? Oh, there it is. Such a little bit, it's hard to see. There, like so. And then I think we'll get a couple of bits of paper and we'll just stick those together like that. And put another bit, I think, like that. And they can, I think, I'm just going to pop them up there like so. Right, and then we'll stand the desk over on this wall, I think. Just stand it there. That's it. And then we'll put the little stool that I made in front of it. So that can be our writing desk. Okay, I cut myself out a bit of a rug. It's only out of a bit of velvet material. So I'm just going to lay that on the floor. Put the coffee table on, just so it's make a bit more comfortable in there for them. Yeah, so the next thing is the bookshelf, and I'm going to stand that on this wall over here, I think, this side of the window. But before I do, I want to stick some books in there. So we'll grab a few of our little books, and I'll pop a bit of glue on the bottom of the book, and then we can just put some of those on the bookshelf like so. Make sure I get it the right way up. I'm going to be popping the glue on in the wrong direction. I will be adding some more bits and pieces later on to the rooms, but this is what I've got for now. So we'll just go with that. A couple up here, I think. I think it's coming together quite nicely. Once I've done this room, then I'm going to go up into the roof up here, and this will be the servants' quarters, I think. So we'll just see how that one goes. One more up there. Yeah. Some books there. That's it. Then okay, lay a couple down, I think. Oh, 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 oh. Getting glue everywhere. That's that one. That one. I can put there. Right. Then I'm going to put, I've made quite a few more scrolls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of glue on the shelf there. Just spread a little bit of glue over there. And I'm going to stick some scrolls on there. This is PVA glue, so it dries clear, so there won't be there won't be any glue showing once it's all dried off, so that's okay. Oh, stick. That's it. There we are. And I'll pop a bit of glue on this one here, and we can stick that one sideways so that we've got a variety there. As you know, it's all quite time consuming, so we will get there in the end. Okay, right, that's the bookshelf for now. we'll stand that over there in the corner. That's pretty good. I might actually glue that to the wall a bit later. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put some bits and pieces lying about. I'm just going to put a scroll up the top there. Probably one or two just lying about. Like so. Same with these scrolls. I'm just going to put a pile by the desk there. And a couple more on the floor there. That's that. I've got a map here. So I'm going to stick that on the wall. Just cut that out of a magazine. That's just a tiny little map there. Map of, I don't know what it is. Oh, a map of the world it is. So we're going to stick that just above the desk on the wall there. And then I've got some other bits and pieces. Got a little candlestick here. I ordered these from Temu, and these came that colour, which was supposed to be gold, but it's more an orangey colour than gold. So I painted them black, which I think looks much better. So I'm going to stick one of these on the writing desk, and I pop a little bit of glue on the bottom of it, just so it sticks there. And we'll stick that on the writing desk so that he can have some light when he or she's writing. That's it. So, and I think as we go, I'm going to put a shield on top of the fireplace there, a sword down by the side of it, just there. Oh, turn around, just there, and then maybe just stand an axe against the wall there. All looks pretty good. Different bits and pieces. Got another thing can stand up there, and another bit of writing can just go on the floor. Right, okay. Right, that's as far as I've got. So what I'll do now is I'll take the camera off and we'll have a look round the room and see how it looks. So bear with me just a second and I'll be back. Right, this is my writing room. What I've done so far, I've still got a few more bits to put in there. I'll put some wall hangings up to make it look a bit more, I don't know, Tudorish, I suppose. But I think on the whole it's starting to come together quite nicely. That's the brickwork round the door there. That's what I made that out of egg boxes as well, just cut out bits of egg boxes, stone shaped, and lined the doorway with it. So I think it's come together quite nicely. Once the fireplace is lit up and that, it'll look a bit cozier. But and I think I'm going to put a wall light in there as well. I've got some candles, like electric lights, but they're candles. So I'm going to put candles on the wall. So I think that'll sort of brighten up the room a bit more. But that's how far we've got. I'm going to have a quick look at the house so far, how it's coming along. It's getting there. This is the Tudor house as we're going. We've still got quite a bit more to do. And once I've finished the inside, then I've got to do the outside. But yeah, because I've got no doors on it at the moment. But we will get there bit by bit. So yeah, that's the Tudor house. Hey, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Join me again, come back to the Tudor house where I'll be finishing off this room here, putting some wall hangings and some curtains up. And then from then I'll be moving up into the attic, which I think is going to be the servants' quarters. So thank you for watching once again, and please join me in the next one. It's been lovely talking to you, and don't forget, press that subscribe and like button, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye now.